after encountering the Nyogi in the cave for your second time and making some sort of second deal to give them a meeting on neutral ground with Kai's patron. Continued back north along the trade way, traveled about a day to Liam's Hold, a very small hamlet, smaller than Bowshot, in which you all got a little bit of a creepy feeling. All the residents staring at you, unblinking and unmoving through their windows. You all decided, after Juliet did some investigating, to pack up and leave with the merchants in tow for their safety and for yours. You were stopped by a shirtless man on a flaming horse that Kai was enamored by. Though, thankfully, due to some quick thinking on Juliet's part, were able to distract him with setting one of his prized houses on fire and booking it back up the tradeway. You rode through the night as you stopped off in Gillian's Hill. Not even really having an inn big enough to house all of you, are in a place in town that Boros was able to locate that's meant for carts to stop, so you all have a circle of your carts with a little camp in the middle. We pick up after you slept in the early afternoon, and what's left of the day is yours.
Alright, cool. So, after when I go around checking the other merchants, and then I go and see how the rest of my companions are. Do any of you have business within Daggerford?
I just want to get in and out.
I have a small errand to run.
Got nothing there for me. Do you?
Need to make a quick stop over at a guild to drop off a deposit.
What type of guild is this?
Known as the Crafton Co. of Commerce. It is a string of guilds that came from the dwarven city of Mirabar. There are more than just dwarves there, but it's mostly comprised of dwarves, and there just so happens to be one in Daggerford.
So is that how you learned your skills?
I learned some of the more advanced stuff from said guild, but I learned the basics on my own from around Gontelgrim.
Let's see. I'm gonna go get the wagon ready.
Jivit and Desi come back. They definitely found their morning meal.
I'll pet one of them.
I want to pet them too.
Well, let's head out. I feel like we shouldn't have you being the front then, Burrows. I feel like it better be in the back.
I got you on this one. And I head to the driver's seat.
Hell no! I'm gonna see if I could outrun him so I could be the first.
I think that's impossible against Jin.
Jin has a higher speed than you, so if you start running, Jin can most definitely beat you back unless you try to do anything to stop him.
Yeah, I'm gonna whistle, throw a bacon at him, and pretty much call Desi and Jivit like, bacon!
Make an animal handling check. So Jivit puts his head back down. Desi will go, but will try to just lick the bacon off of Jin and not actually tackle him. But since it's still a direwolf, Jin, can you make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice? That is tied. Full speed runs into, licks all the way up the side to get the bacon off, and tumbles trying to not tackle you.
As soon as I get to the driver's seat, I'll see what she's doing and say, we'll switch off halfway.
Fair.
I think that's the first sentence you two shared so far.
They talk in emotion.
After all, sometimes the best friendships are formed not by words, but by actions.
Direwolves would pretty much take up the entire cart, and even then it would start to be overloaded. Two of you can be up front, which I assume is Jin and Kai.
Well, because Orsk is kind of small. Can he be in the middle or sit in one of our laps?
I will say probably the optimal thing, Orsic squeezing in with the direwolves in the back. Sure, I'll allow it.
Well,
and then Juliet and Boros can hitch in the merchant cart somewhere.
Meanwhile, I'm also going to tie my hair back and put the cloak on.
Jin and Kai up front, go ahead and make perception checks for me. You begin heading off on what you know will be about a half-day's travel up to Daggerford. Kai, you eagerly await, counting away the seconds in your head as you realize a few hours have passed and probably your turn is coming, and you keep scooching closer to Jin, just wanting to grab the reins.
And yes, I'm gonna keep watch for any asparagus.
Jin, do you hand off the reins at the halfway mark?
I'll hand it over.
Rest of your travel goes uneventful. You begin to see the familiar sight of the city of Daggerford.
I'll have my cloak on.
I'll probably do the same.
Orsk will do the same.
Towards the city entrance, a group of about 4 guards standing at the side of the road. One of them closest to you guys flipping through a book does a double take and just leans back and look how big your guys' caravan is, and like gets all the other guards as they stand in the road and put their hands up. Halt! Mandatory inspections. Motions for a few to go cart to cart, taking a peek in and checking. And the one talking walks up to you, Jen. Hi there. Sorry for the inconvenience. There's been some incidents recently, and we just have to kind of check everyone. And he's flipping through a packet that he has. Slowly looks back up at you and just stares at your guys' faces. At the same time, the first guard comes to the back of your guys' cart where Orsic and the 2 direwolves are, peeks in, and Orsic, you make eye contact as you're just sitting back on one of the benches, and Desi and Jivit are still like sound asleep, and his eyes just get really wide.
Dagger on his fingernails, cleaning the dirt off of them, right? And he looks up and he gives the guard like a sup nod.
Points to the direwolves. He just closes the curtain and continues walking down the line. This man's seen some shit. Meanwhile, the guard talking with you, Jin and Kai, leans out to the side to one of the guards standing in front of you to make sure, you know, they'll theoretically stop you if you try to run the barricade. And this grin just grows on his face. Hey, Ned. Own up. They came back. You owe me 5 silver. I won the bet. One of these other guards just roll his eyes in the side, and he walks over and places 5 silver in the other guard's hand, and he pockets it. Said you'd come back. And he opens up the packet and shows you, and there are sketches of your guys' faces.
That's when Orsk is gonna like pop his head out of the cart up front. So, are they letting us through?
Once they're done checking, yeah. I'm sure you guys are fine, though.
What was the bet, though?
If you all would come back through here or not, after before. And then once we got through the sketches and heard what you guys did and the way in, that's when the bets really started. Oh, I totally forgot. So caught up in the 5 silver. The Duchess wishes to speak with you guys. She put to be on the lookout after your guys' information came from the way in. I think it has something to do with that, and then also what happened last time you were here. Though it's nothing bad. Like, if it was bad, we'd have arrested you by now.
Do I know the Duchess's name?
Yeah, you would have known from your first time through. It is Duchess Joanne Bophill.
Her surname is Bophill?
Bophill.
This is awesome.
Joanna Boppit is what I'm writing down.
Okay.
I did have you in mind when I made this name. I will have you know that. That I knew
I'm
you
so
would
glad.
take this. I was like, she's gonna take this in many other ways.
Did she earn her title, or was it a family title that she inherited?
She prefers to go by Duchess Joanne. It is not a family title. She was brought into this. Not necessarily elected, but she was handpicked by the previous Duke. And she's known to be a more chill Duchess compared to others in the region.
How old is Duchess Joanne?
Juliet doesn't know the number, but I'll throw it out. She is 65 years old. So
Ooh.
well into adult for a halfling, and they can live to be like well into their 200s. So she has a long time to go if she doesn't decide to retire or get booted out.
You mean bopped out?
That was
What
good
it
delivery.
does. So
That
good.
was.
Excellent. 10 out of 10. What was the name of the Duke that she replaced?
Duke Fabian Wheatflow. This is in my notes,
Duke.
people.
Duke Wheaties.
Duke Wheaties? Hell yeah.
I have been making a real effort to correctly pronounce his NPC names. I just feel like the rest of you should probably give him hell. That's fine. Keep going.
My name is Sarah Wheaties.
God damn it.
Did he pass it on and retire, or did he die?
He passed it on due to old age. He did retire, but he'll most likely be keeling over soon if he hasn't already. You do not know.
Cool.
But yeah, so all the guards do come back from their checks of your carts and give the thumbs up. The guard that had made eye contact with you, Orsic, whisper in his ears and his eyes get really wide. He's like, hold on one second. And this guard peeks in the back and sees the two dire wolves. And you hear him let out an audible gasp, closes the curtain and walks back. Please keep an eye on them. We don't need wild animals running around our town.
They're well trained, don't worry.
They do stand aside and let you in. Front of your guild is two places merged into one. The main business is the Prismatic Pane, all in one artisan shop that the guild uses to sell a lot of their wares. And in the back rooms are a meeting place. So you come up to this beautiful 2-story brick house, big grand windows that stretch up both floors that have a bunch of gems that have been cut and perfectly laced together to make up the window panes. And when you stare directly at it, they all begin to move and give a kaleidoscope effect. Big sign made out of all these gems too that says Prismatic Pane, and under it, it says associated with Craft & Co.
Orsk is going to find like the front desk and show them his papers of him being a part of the guild.
Plenty of alleyways to move all the merchant carts into and park them. Is anyone staying with the merchants, or are you all heading in?
Leave the merchants.
I'll stay with the merchants.
I'm gonna go in, but before I do, I want to see if anybody's looking at us, if anybody's been following us.
Late afternoon at this point, the streets are full of people engaged in end-of-day commerce, but no one's staring at you or giving extended looks.
I'm gonna stay outside and keep an eye on Kai.
That is fair.
I've met Kai more than once.
Orsic, Boros, and Jin, as you head in, huge core pillars displaying different items to keep the appearances and smells of planter boxes full of flowers around the windows outside, and they follow through inside around the edges and in the corners of the room. Huge vaulted ceiling, and there are magical braziers producing no smoke or heat, but a beautiful ambient flickering light. In the very center of the room, in its own circular desk, is a familiar halfling to you, Orsic, Irvina Buck. Even when employed under you, she was a bit older at the time. She decided in her later years to get into the artisan crafts. So now her golden skin has gotten a little bit slightly wrinkly with her shorter, curled gray hair. Her face just lightens up and glows as you enter. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again. Oh, where have you been?
I've been doing good. You seem to be in good health.
Tackerford's been wonderful to me. I heard you were here before. Created quite the ruckus and then left without even coming in. How could you do that to me?
You know, I was just busy at the time.
Understandable. Who are your new friends?
Well, I'm traveling with them now. I'm actually here to see if we could provide lodging for them.
Of course, of course. We here, under the Prismatic Pane, have plenty of room for members and their friends and family alike. How long will you be staying?
Just the day. Unless stated otherwise.
Well, there are multiple loft rooms upstairs, which will be not a problem as she pulls a huge book out and begins writing down in it with this beautiful, elegant handwriting. Sets 3 keys up on the desk. Well, upstairs, the rooms are yours. However long you need.
With that, Orsk will show them to their rooms, right?
If you guys are giving 2 rooms to the merchants, that works out for the same amount of people in every room, given how many merchants are traveling with you.
Are the merchants next door to us or across the hall?
3 rooms are all next door to each other. Are you just looking for, like, equipment or actual brews that would assist?
Since I'm new to doing it, something that would make it easier for me to craft things.
I like. Then I'll say for 50 gold, you can get equipment that will give you a +1 to all rolls for that. Or you can get a one-time use potion for 30 gold each that give you a +1. But the kit is heavy and will need its own backpack that you have to carry around.
I'll go for the kit. I can leave it in the wagon. So what's the total for both items?
So that would be 75 in total for both items. They don't sell the kit like whole, but the specialist is happy to assist making this kit for you.
Also, would I find smoke bomb materials here?
I have to travel a little ways, but you are pointed in the direction of the Firehilt Outfitter. You know this place to be run by Jaren Crew, an individual known to specialize in black powder and the likes. Less of a building and more of a open-aired hut, sparsely thatched roof, and some drapes over an entrance that lead into a dome-like structure. The front half is customer shopping area with simple handheld black powder weaponry and ammunition that has clearly been disabled in some way, along with different types of fireworks and black powder explosives and such. There does not appear to be any raw materials in here, and you see what you assume to be Jaren, kind of a younger human with very dirty blonde hair. Looks like he hasn't bathed in a while. Doesn't notice you enter as he's just legs back sleeping.
And it is common awareness that these weapons exist in this world?
Yes, though they are pretty rare, and you see he only has a few at least visible, and the price tags are quite expensive. And thus why they have clearly been heavily disabled in some way, most likely until you purchase them.
I'm gonna walk up to him and
that's
just
worse
like
than
tap on the desk.
Just as your knuckles hit the counter, he instantly sits up, reaches back behind his chair, whips around a long-barreled rifle, and just aims it at you. Oh, do not scare a man like that. How can I help you, sir?
On your guard. You act like there's suspicion in this town.
When you deal with black powder, one cannot be too careful. One must have their finger on the trigger at all times, unless you're sleeping, in which the trigger is close by.
I was looking for smoke bombs. Do you have any available?
I have both materials and the bombs at the ready, whichever you wish. I've got a lot of colors, or we can make up a special color for you in a quick time. The pre-mades are going to be 5 silver for a pack of 10.
And how effective are these things, like radius-wise?
20-foot area upon impact for about a minute, give or take.
Alright, I will take out 5 silver and grab a bag. Let's go with a dark blue.
A dark blue. Give me a couple minutes to prepare those. And he slides his chair back along the ground, gets up and disappears behind another curtain that blended in with the back wall at first. Like boxes being moved around. At one point you begin to hear a tss, and he's like, no, 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 and you hear like him slapping a table. Stop that. And after a few minutes he comes out with a bag of 10 smoke bombs. May burn white at the beginning and end, but in the middle should be dark blue. No refunds, no returns, all sales are final. And we are not responsible for any lung or eye damage from being inside the smoke. Be careful.
Out of curiosity, how much are the raw materials?
The raw materials for enough to make 10 of these just like this, we sell for about 4 silver.
I see. Thank you for your time. Now put them away.
Have a good one. Come back soon. As you're walking away, you hear him plop back into the chair and almost instantly is snoring again. Go ahead and roll a history check for me, Jen. You know, based on a previous experience, just for the record, that those prices for raw materials are about double what is market standard. Is anyone else purchasing anything?
I would like to see if there's any like improved leatherworkers kit supplies.
For 50 gold, improved kit that will give you a +1 on all your leatherworking checks. Not quite as heavy as the kit that Jen got for what he's doing, but still requires a little bit of setup process. The main thing that takes up that weight is a drawing and tanning rack that you can use in combination, along with all the handheld tools that one would need.
Much as I want to, that's a bit too much for me to spend right now.
What if I give you 12 gold?
That's a bit more agreeable.
Okay, I'll give Burroughs 12 gold.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll pay them the gold then. Get myself that nice leatherworkers kit.
10 pounds, little like handheld tote type thing. It's not as fragile as the one Jin has. It could like be thrown around a little bit, but I would be careful with it.
And also, see what could be potentially done with my sword, the engravings on it. Like asking about if anybody knows what they mean.
They could see about upgrading it, but they need to check some things with it.
I'm not sure if I can afford it, but it'd be nice to see if there's anything that might be wrong with it.
They take it for a little bit and come back to you. Apologies, sir, but we won't be able to enchant this, as it seems to already be enchanted.
Excuse me?
Have something to do with these runes. Whenever we try to get into the aspects of the weapon, it blocks us out.
I didn't know that was enchanted in any way. It was my father's sword.
We've been around the lands, and no one in here has seen engravings like the such, so it's best if we don't attempt to break past it.
Thank you for telling me at least.
Can I purchase just 10 arrows? Either normal or if they have any magical arrows?
Say from here, 85 gold for a set of +1 arrows.
Just give me 10 regular arrows.
5 silver for 10.
I'll do that then. 5 silver for 10.
Orsk would like to purchase a book. Romance novel, of course. Back home, he has a small collection of like romance novels, right?
What?
I
Yeah.
love it.
This artisan shop doesn't actually have...
Oh, no. He's not looking inside the guild. He's looking outside in
you
the city.
are, okay. So you do find a small shop within the same city square called Cover Cove. Small stone building, 1 story, maybe 1.5 rooms inside. Hand-painted sign that says Cover Cove, and you can see through the small grated windows. It's a very jam-packed bookshop inside.
He's gonna go up to the clerk and ask where the romance novel sections are at.
This rougher, golden-skinned female half-orc flipping through a book on the counter, hand up on her chin. She sees you enter. Oh, hello, honey. What can we do for you today?
Yes, where do you keep the romance novels?
Ooh, right back in that corner over there. We've got a few shelves of them. And if you're
Yep.
interested in anything off-shelf, more risky type novels, let me know. Back corner where she pointed, 1 shelf labeled romance with just a small handwritten sign. One of the ones that stands out is Dwarfing My Heart. The other one is The Elf Maid and the Evil. And this
Elf
appears to
Maid.
be a series. There is a books 1 through 4. This one is actually new to you, both that and Dwarfing My Heart.
Yeah, so he's gonna take the elf maid and the evil. He's gonna walk up to the clerk. He's like, "Excuse me, do you have any more in this volume set?"
Let's see. And she heads back, and you notice the books weren't placed in any semblance of a sorting manner, and she ends up finding the other 3 volumes. So you can purchase 1 through 4 if you'd like.
Ah, excellent. And how much are they in a volume set?
Well, we can provide a discount for that, so we'll say for everything 9 silver.
Orsk is gonna smile from ear to ear, right? He's gonna put down a gold coin. You can keep that. That is your tip for helping me find this excellent book series.
Thank you, honey. Do enjoy. And she'll pull out a small, oddly befitting red and pink sparkled tote bag that she puts all 4 neatly in. Spines up so you can read just by glancing in what the books are.
Excellent. Orsk does not care about the color, and he's gonna wear that bitch like it's in style. That's when Orsk is gonna meet back up with the others.
I like to go wherever I think I'm likely to find a job board.
The closest tavern to you would be the Daring Hare Brewery.
Ooh.
A larger 2-story stone wall building, just ugly ass, like poop brown tile roof. It's god awful. Though it does have a small vegetable garden out front, some planter boxes, but they're all like root vegetables. You only see the stems, so it doesn't really help. And this time, there's a little bit of a dinner rush, so it's a little bit busy inside, and off in one corner, there's a large cork board that has a bunch of jobs posted in it.
It doesn't have like our wanted posters on it, does it?
No, it does not.
Oh, good. Just checking. I would like to scan the job board for any postings for like Everlund or Sundabar or Stone Stand. Anything sort of in that silvery moon direction.
That's pretty far off. You spend a while, though you do surprisingly find something, and it's very interesting. The post reads, "Adventurers needed. Our kobold and our previous adventuring party is currently missing, and in his possession is an ancient and dangerous artifact. Problem is he ate it. Please return the artifact intact. The kobold Skraz can be returned dead or alive, or not at all, for all we care. 1,000 gold piece reward. See local barkeep for more information."
I would like to take down and go talk to the local barkeep.
Younger female tabaxi with this spotted dark gray fur, recessed brown eyes, swiftly sliding drinks down the bar, and she looks at you come up. "Yes, honey, how can I help you?"
I'd like to ask some questions about this.
Ends up pushing it aside as she reads it. "All I know is," and she like disappears below the bar for a second and comes back up with a stack of a few papers and just carefully puts them down. "The poster left this, all the information they say you will need, as they're currently traveling southbound."
Pick them up and read them.
The gist is Skraz was last seen near Nonar's Hold, which is next to the High Forest, sought sanctuary there. Skraz ran away with this artifact as the party was splitting up after they lost a few of their members in an unfortunate accident. So they were down on numbers, tired, growing older, and so they're looking for some new adventurers to be able to go and retrieve this item. And it does say, do not directly touch the artifact. Use a piece of cloth or something thicker when interacting with it.
Damn it, Kai. I can already hear you planning to touch it.
The individual who is paying for this reward is going to be in Baldur's Gate.
I will keep this paperwork, put it in my bag, just in case we happen to be in the area and, like, want to pick up some obviously cursed magical bullshit.
Juliet, as you're walking to the Prismatic Pane, you see Orish prancing back with this, like, sparkly red and pink bag.
Juliet, hey!
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. I just bought some books.
What are you reading?
Here, take a look. And he hands the first volume over to Juliet, right?
Juliet will take it and will say, oh my god, this one is so good. Wait until you get to page 235. Excellent. Just excellent. You're gonna love
now
it.
I can't wait to read this. Thank you. Glad that I picked a good series to read along this merchant wagon quest.
Juliet, roll a history check for me.
10?
That's exactly what it was. Can you head down to Whispers for a second? Because I don't want to spoil it.
I would love to.
Wow.
Well, should we start freshening up and probably head over?
Yeah.
Juliet will paladin down, go back to her, like, fine clothes.
You know what? I think I'm gonna ask the Guildhall Master if they have any fancy clothes for us that he could borrow for this occasion.
For you, yes. They have a nice, simple black suit that would go well.
Excellent.
We're going to take a break there.
What's your last name? Bebop?
Damn it.
Billy Bob?
Uphill. Joanne Boppet.
You all begin heading towards where Duchess Joanne Buphill is located. So you walk up to this walled compound of a castle. Large 4-story building that actually has 2 very distinct wings to it. One of which is clearly the guard barracks, and then the other being the manor in which the Duchess and her family live. You see standing in front of the door into the Duchess's manor, a guard in which you recognize the uniform, but not the individual within the uniform. Appears to be the captain of the guard, which you had previously met last time you were in Daggerford. This is a different individual. Standing almost close to 7 foot, a male Goliath. Bald gray head with poppy blue eyes and very rough, dull gray skin. Full chainmail armor and captain robes, stands at attention and looks at you as you approach.
We are told that the Duchess seeks our attention.
Follow me. Opens the door, and you are followed by 2 other guardsmen, not in the full robes that he is, and leads you up like a half spiral of stairs. Beautiful red carpets, gold inlays along the handrails, and up into a large office with double doors where he gives a little double tap before opening up, walks in and stands at attention off to the side as you are all ushered into this large office where the Duchess sits at a half-circle desk. Welcome in. I was beginning to wonder if you'd show up at all. Please, sit. And they pull up 5 separate chairs.
Orsk does a little small bow before, taking a seat, right?
And she gives you a little nod back. As you all sit, this Goliath guard captain stands behind you all at attention with a long sword just out facing down, not touching the floor. So you've returned. The great Rusorth said you might be coming through. Even sent notice of your good deeds with her. Though we did have some unfinished business as you left this town before. So I wanted to talk about that. See what information you had gathered and seemed to not report before you scurried out of town.
For that reason, we found word that the goblins may have had encampments outside of town. But unfortunately, it led to a dead end.
I will say, her reports being sent up the Sword Coast about your deeds, your descriptions, and to give you preferential travel through wherever you are to go next, definitely swayed my decision in not being more harsh and stern in our talk here. In your absence, we completed our investigation. You'll notice behind you, and she motions to the large Goliath, Captain Mooncaller has taken place of our late captain, who was unfortunately executed in the town square soon after you left for his apparent involvement in the near invasion of this town. As it would seem, the goblins persuaded him to assist in the attacks that occurred. We executed him maybe a little bit too soon, the captain there. A little bit overzealous when he took the position. But we haven't been attacked since. I did call you in here, though, since you did do some kind of job for us. And you can see she's very hesitant in even saying that. I've been persuaded to reward you for your help. She pulls out 5 pouches of gold and just tosses them to each of you. Inside is 100 gold apiece.
Wow, this is very generous of you. Thank you.
Thank Rusorth when you see her next. She's an old colleague, and we're closer to even now. Along with that, don't know how long you'll be in town for, but one of our best inns and taverns here in the city, the Adoring Stallion, if you wish, has been paid for and meal included.
Thank you for your hospitality. If I may ask, the information that Rusorth gave you, is that knowledge new to you, or have you heard of anything similar?
Oh, no, it is very new to me and nearly unbelievable. But if it's coming from Rusorth, it must be right. She is always truthful with her reports. I'm quite worried. Just please don't cause that same trouble here. We've had our fair share recently. In one other matter, I have heard from my guards that you have brought 2 large, possibly direwolves into my town. I do have to put you on notice, just that in the event they do get out of control, we will kill them. Immediately.
Understood.
So for the record, Ariel DM rolled me an 11 insight against
I'm so good
the
at
Duchess.
insight, guys.
She definitely does not enjoy your presence in her town, and does wish you to leave immediately, but also everything she's saying about Rusorth is extremely true, and it is clear she heavily owed Rusorth. So this is all in Rusorth's benefits.
Your Grace. Drow were hiding in a false wall in the guardhouse. Is there any chance that we might be able to inspect your facilities just to make sure?
The moment you say this, you see the guard captain stomp around to the other side of her desk as she gets like wide-eyed as he leans down. I need you all to make a perception check because he's a very loud whisperer. Can I have Jen and Orsic meet me down in whispers, please?
God damn, so close.
Captain Mooncaller whispering, I'm not about to trust a group of people with their reputation being able to scout out our jails. If we are to ever arrest them, they could easily find the weak points and escape. She brushes him off and gives him a look, and he heavily sighs. Child stomps his way back behind you guys, standing back at attention.
Do we see symbol of a raven or something on him?
You do not see that anywhere.
Gotcha.
Well, the captain would be more than happy to escort you all through our facilities if you wish to examine for any of these false walls, as you say.
That would be lovely. Thank you so much for your hospitality.
Of course, and if there's anything else you need, please pass it up through my assistants at the door. Thank you all for taking the time to stop by, and do enjoy your stay in Daggerford. Stands up, and 2 guards enter, clearly motioning you all out.
Before we walk out, the thing I just asked you, if it exists, is there anything similar to it in the room?
Make a perception check.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
worry,
Getting
me-
out a
don't worry, me
different
and Swift
binder.
know.
Yeah, this is a game changer.
Ooh, different binder.
Swift, I will go ahead and need you to head down to Whispers.
You in secret.
Reason we go to jail.
Don't worry. I will distract Captain Mooncaller for you guys so you can get away.
No! Jin, what did you do?
Did you just
Okay.
try to stab her?
As you all stand up, you give your bow, and you are all led out of the manor. That's it.
And then that's it.
That's it.
Jin with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure he is.
My heart is palpitating right now. Hope you realize that.
This is a real Jin, right?
Is Captain Mooncaller coming with us to the front?
Yes, he leads you back out. Like, as soon as you all get out the door and the other guards close it, he begins walking off towards the other wing, the barracks. So you have a chance
Cool.
to stop him if you want.
I'm gonna follow him. Should we inspect your facilities now?
Let's get this over with. Come this way. It is within the wing of this building. Attached is their main, more secure jail. And he leads you down to 2 different basement sub-levels.
And you keep your jail this close to your Duchess's living area. That's a very interesting choice.
This is for a more secure Storage, we don't keep anyone here for an extended period of time, but if what you're looking for exists in this town, it's probably here. After searching for, I'd say, about 10-15 minutes, you don't find anything that is like the original illusion that you encountered before in the way in. This place, being in a sub-basement, is pretty secure. There is one way in and out, and it is the staircase leading up to the main building. And for both levels, there is a reinforced steel door that can be closed and barred from the outside. There only seems to be one guard per floor.
Is there any prisoners here?
There is currently only one on each floor, and they seem to be separated so they can't communicate.
I want to ask the prisoner, why are they in here?
You see a female tiefling with steroid-like almost red skin, the vein like pulsing on her arms, and this chopped off straight golden hair, like golden eyes just sparkle as you make momentary eye contact. The moment you begin speaking with the prisoner, Captain Mooncaller walks up and pushes you away from the cell. I have to draw the line at you talking to the prisoners. I'm sorry, that is not allowed. And he reaches behind in the little window, he just slides a cover across it.
Seems like this place is pretty much secure.
Of course, please leave and exit up the stairs. And he begins, like, arms out the length of the, like, walkway, just pushing you all out as fast as possible.
Wait, are we heading back to the guild hall or to the inn?
To the guild
I
hall.
would right to the guild hall.
As you are walking back to the guild hall, Jen, make a perception check for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Let's head back down to Whispers.
Alright.
God damn it.
Hello. I saw the that one.
Yeah, what's going on?
So, as you're walking back and chit-chatting, Jen suddenly throws his arms up in the air, does this like clearly fake stretch, and motions off to an alleyway, making the follow me symbol.
And that's really, really subtle, right? Like, definitely nobody else could have picked up on that.
All of you see this. Orsic and Kai, you immediately are like, what in the world? And you look over in the direction he was motioning, and at the edge of an alleyway, just cloaked in the slightest bit of shadow, you see a medium height, very lean, slick build, blue-skinned, green-haired Triton in full plain plate armor. And the moment you guys look over, she disappears back into the shadows.
We're being followed.
This is the reason why I said we need to go to the guild hall.
Before we go in, can I also search for our direwolves? And hopefully, if the guild let us, can I have our direwolves be in the room with us?
Listen, Orsk will talk it over with him, right?
They are hesitant. Even with Orsic like vouching for it and Kai, you're like, oh, they're wonderfully trained. This lady's face, like, you want to bring what into my artisan shop? And again, you look around, there is crafted jewels everywhere in here. Like, it is not a place for big animals. She will show you to a back door that has less breakable items to lead the direwolves through. This place is pretty much normally inhabited by dwarves and halflings. These two direwolves, as dexterously as they can, climbing these small stairs. They don't really fit in the rooms, but there's open loft up there. Do the classic dog thing of spinning in circles before they curl up in the spot.
Wait, let me see if the room is secured first.
I'll help out with that.
Go ahead and make investigation checks.
Advantage to you.
As they're doing that, I'm going to open the door and just check the hallway.
Second floor, the merchants have receded to their rooms. Hallway is clear, and your room as clear as it can be. There's no traps, no hidden people. There's one way in and out. There's not even a window in this place.
Alright, Jen, we're good.
I close the door and look at the party. It seems there's something going on in this town. Boros, remember that symbol you found of the raven?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Apparently, I noticed it in the room of the Duchess. It seems there's more to what's going on than she alluded.
Do you think the first guard captain was probably a scapegoat?
Did any of you feel any suspicions that he would be involved?
If I recall, he even stood up for us.
I have a bad plan.
This is
What-
far too deep. We have to leave in the morning.
What sort of situation do you suspect that it is?
That she could be part of exactly what we've been investigating.
We do so much avoiding the situation. At what point does it actually become our problem that we have to deal with?
We have a objective right now. We need to complete this objective. If we do anything to rile whatever's going on in this town, it's going to make things worse. I agree with you. These things do need to be handled, but now is not the time.
We need the right alliances.
Kai, roll a history check. I'll
Ooh.
take you to Whispers momentarily.
Ooh,
It's my turn.
As you all are talking, you hear the slight, ever so quiet sound of the lock on your guys' door being opened.
you're shitting me.
The doorknob jiggle as it opens. Standing in the doorway, slowly being unveiled from cloak of invisibility, is a female, blue-skinned, green-haired Triton in full plate armor. That's where we're gonna end the session.
What?